I don't know what you're afraid of. I can tell you some of the things that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of embarrassment, looking foolish, being laughed at, okay with. I'm a bit afraid of losing control. That's what was the most difficult, that and heights, and the sense of incompetence. But loss of control is something that's difficult for me. I'm afraid of being wrong. Afraid of moments when I might have to admit it. And all those things that I've said so far probably boil into another fear, and that's a fear of rejection. I want to guide you to Mark chapter 6 and this most, I think, compelling story. Jesus has finished feeding the masses. He tells the story in other Gospels as well. The masses have been fed. The disciples are in a boat out on Galilee. They're going along, the Bible will say, struggling with the oars. The waves, the wind kicked up. Jesus can see them from where he is. And I would just suggest to you that even when you cannot see Jesus, he sees you. And the good news is he's not looking for you to get out and walk to him. He will walk his way to you. So Mark says he decides, I'm going to go. I'm going to go in the direction they're going. I'm going to walk there with them. And he walks across the water, which, by the way, when they see him and jerk to attention with fear, I believe it's a fairly reasonable fear. He walks along the water, and they are frightened, and he says what God or the angels typically have to say to us human beings. Just don't, which it seems kind of this ludicrous conversation across the water. Hey, calm down. It's just me. I mean, who'd you think it was? And then the most amazing thing happens. Jesus walks over and gets into their boat. And Mark will say, immediately the wind calms down and the waves are at peace and their hearts are calmed. I do believe this very strongly, that in all of our questions, all that we do together, what we study here, what we talk about, what we open up, what we leave unfinished, all of it is safe if Jesus is in the boat. That the call on our hearts today is that we'd invite him to be in the midst of any confusion you're struggling with, in the midst of the questions that you feel most passionately about, even in the midst of our certainties, because that might be something he needs to disturb in us. That with Jesus by my side, the wind and the waves, they can calm down. I can have a little bit more fear. I can fly. I can walk on water with him.
Hi, I'm Dave Ferguson. I'm the pastor of the Collegedale Church here on the campus of Southern Adventist University. You know, it seems to me this world is a mess, more than ever. And in the midst of it, the questions that are boiling up, we wonder, does Jesus have anything relevant to say about the problem in my life, the difficulty you're struggling with? I think he does. And I'd like to welcome you to subscribe to this YouTube channel as we explore the relevance of Jesus Christ in the everyday life of you and me. So subscribe. Click the button.